Oh no.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity in Naperville for our Sunday service. Thanks for being here. And if I haven't met you yet, I'm Kitty Benson. I'm the minister here at Unity, and we have a wonderful band, Highest Good, that's here to sing us into life. In case you came in dragging a little bit, they've got the medicine for us, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. Really interesting topic today. Your questions were amazing in regards to life after death, and so we'll talk a little bit more about that today. Thanks for being brave enough to ask, brave enough to show up and explore more deeply what's the potential for us. And, you know, I gotta say, my true answer about all of that is, I don't know. I'll just give you some thoughts today, and hopefully something will resonate with you. So the way that we get started here on Sunday mornings is just to allow that energy of song to move through us, because it is not only so lively, but it's also so loving and so enlightening. So if you want to stand while we're singing, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, just stay seated and take it away, Highest Good. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to be lively? Are you ready to be lively? Here we go. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. See here now, I got me the better suit on. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received His revelation. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received His revelation. Light up the sky and launch the fireworks. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. I kick up my heels because I know my worth. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received His revelation. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received His revelation. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. Think about that. I will not consider myself any less than. Let's live from that. And I will not consider myself any less than who I've been. Declare it. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. Cut from the finest cloth, I am one lovely man. Oh, whoa! There you go. Sometimes you just have to have, some mornings it's in the quiet meditation, and that's beautiful. And then some more mornings it's in that joyful declaration, and that's equally beautiful, yes? Yes. So this next song is by the wonderful Ricky Byers. And I know it's one of your favorites. Feel free to sing along. Oh, yeah.
Guess what? This is one. That's one. Yeah, here it is. There's where we want. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I am listening to the music of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a song God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long. Oh, yeah, hey.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I am lifting in the love of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a joy God is being. Praise the Spirit all day long. Praise the Spirit all day long. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, hey,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm moving in the mountain of the Holy Spirit. This chance of life, I got this fire that keeps me dancing. My faith is strong, keeps me dancing. My faith is strong. Oh yeah, oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
There's a silence in the stillness of the Holy Spirit. Oh, what a light God is shining. Let us see it everywhere. Let us be it everywhere. Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Let's just move in that rhythm by turning our thoughts inward for a moment. Catching the wave of spirit present in this moment, always present in our lives. feeling the energy and force of love, which is the very nature of our being and all beings. We are so grateful, Spirit, to know that we are one with the presence that all is. That presence of love and wisdom guides our work today, opens our hearts and minds to new ideas, soothes and strengthens, enlivening our bodies, providing every resource needed in the moment. We are listening, we are allowing, we are being the fullness of God. So it is, now we let it be. Amen. Will you help me speak our invocation? The words are up here on the screen. Together. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you. Yes, you are. We have such great assistance here in our congregation. This doesn't just happen because we just crawled out of bed and decided to show up. Our band gets here so early to rehearse and just provide this beautiful music to you. And I have a wonderful assistant who shows up every week. It's a different person every week, and they're busy running around, especially today. People in our hospitality department out there getting your coffee ready, and our tech team getting ready. And the slides you see, a lot of them are coming from somebody who watches online for us. So just want to say a big, deep thank you to all of you. Yeah. And we were talking last week about life after death. Every once in a while, I just feel like it's time to talk about that. It's always interested me, and I do a lot of reading about it, a lot of listening to podcasts and things like that. And we lit candles last week and this week. If you have a loved one that you want to hold in the light during the service, my hunch is that when you hold them in thought for today and you come up and light a candle for them, they are here for this service. So just expect that. Expect them to be around. Somebody last week who just is open and receptive to energy said, you're buzzing more than normally after the service. And it's probably just because there's so many of our friends on the other side that came in for this service that we're all buzzing a little bit. So let's just enjoy their presence and hold them in our heart with love. Also, I asked you last week if you had any questions about life after death to write them down for me, send me emails, and I'm going to talk about them today. And as I said earlier today, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not a channeler. I'm not a medium. But I just appreciate certain people in the world who resonate with me in their understanding, people who've had near-death experiences. So I'm just going to ask you today to check in with your heart and just allow what feels good and set the rest aside that you're still kind of questioning. Maybe it will come back for you to meditate on later. No right or wrong in this, just possibilities and potential. So one of the questions that people asked were about angels. Do they exist? Are they any different than our spiritual loved ones on the other side, same kind of soul? And I would offer that they're a different type of being, a different role for their work that we each, when we come into the physical experience, we come in with one of those angels here to be our protector, our guide, our just helping us to feel loved. And they are connected with our spiritual guides and teachers on the other side, so they know why we came here, and they're also helping out to keep us on our path, to make sure that we get our job done. They like to be appreciated. They like to be noticed. So it doesn't hurt to just acknowledge them in the morning when you wake up. Thanks for being with me today. I'm looking forward to your help. And then keep your eyes open and just see if anything special happened that you think, you know what, I bet that was my angels that helped work that out. I know when I go with that near miss in my car, it's like, oh, thanks, angels. Because sometimes just backing out a little too fast, like, I don't know how I missed that car. Yeah, I'm just going to hand that over to my angels. People who have had near-death experiences talk about angels or beings of light with them when they leave the body and stay with them throughout this visit to the other side. And they're probably the only type of spiritual being that can materialize temporarily here on earth so that they look like you and I, because they've got a specific mission where they need to interact out loud with us. I knew a couple that used to come here before they moved out of state. They had a son and a daughter, and the daughter was probably about four years old when this happened. They came one Sunday and said that they were all in the garage getting ready to go somewhere. And the daughter suddenly jumped back, and then the garage door came slamming down. It had failed. And had she stayed there and not moved, she very easily could have been killed by the weight of that door. And their parents were in shock, and they just turned to her and said, "What made you jump?" And she said, "Well, that lady kept telling me that I should move, but I didn't, and so she just pushed me." I get goosebumps. So thanks for that, Spirit. Y'all that have pets, you're interested in what happens to your pets when they die. When you die, will you see them again? And we in Unity believe that animals have souls. that they're as much energy as all the rest of us. Their consciousness may not be as advanced as ours, but we might say that our dogs or cats are very smart, and they're busy developing a personality here in this environment. And we will know them by that personality, even if their expression doesn't look like fur and ears and tails. You will know them by their personality, and that their love, that you've created a bond through love, stays with you. I feel like I can call on my pets even after they've passed, and they will be with me. Suzanne Giesman has a wonderful video on YouTube. So I think if you just put in her name on YouTube and say Afterlife for Pets, there's an hour-long program she does where different people come in and share their stories about why they're sure their pets are living on after death. Now, other animals, not domesticated animals, tend, according to several different people that I've read, tend to have like a single soul per animal. So there's a cow soul, a single cow soul, and their energy is here in the body, and when it leaves after death, it returns to the great cow soul in the sky, and its consciousness as a cow comes back and reincarnates again. I've heard animals know that they are coming here to feed the supply chain, and they do it willingly. So again, take that in, see what it feels like for you in your own heart, but I would love to meet the great cow soul in the sky. Somebody mentioned dreams, that sometimes when they wake from a dream, they'll be crying and they'll feel so peaceful because they just had a kiss or a hug from a past love. And they wondered if there's any meaning to that. And there's a couple things that I want to offer about this. First of all, I believe our spirits can leave the body when we sleep, and that we can just be in the spiritual dimension and interact with loved ones on the other side while the body is sleeping. And of course, if we have an experience of love, of that connection that we remember when we come up from the dream, it could be because that was our soul traveling and experiencing it there. And it feels so real, this person said, more real than anything I've experienced here. I would say consider that it's more real because that dimension is more real. This feels real, but it's much more of a dream, really. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. No kidding. I'd love to meet the person who wrote that song. I bet they're really cool. So that's one way we may have that experience. And also, I think that our loved ones can enter into our dreams if our dreams are at a frequency that they can match and come in with. So, if we are in grief after their passing, it might be more difficult for them to interact with than when we can return our energy to a place of peace while we sleep. I know that my mind is extremely busy and chaotic and always trying to get things done. So, it's kind of like, I imagine my parents on the other side, like, it's like a freeway with all these cars going by. They're just trying to get in that space, This may not be quite as easy as they would like it to. So, just consider that. Someone asked, if we die of an illness, does the illness linger on the other side, or does it take a while to be free of it? Or are we free of it immediately? And I would offer that the illness is part of the physical experience. Our spirit, I keep telling you this, is already perfect and whole and complete. It never knows sickness as a spiritual being. That's not part of our essence. And so if we died of an illness, we find ourselves in the spiritual dimension completely free and whole and enlightened and lifted up, and realizing that that illness never touched us. I even read about someone who had a near-death experience who was blind, and when they left the body and were kind of hovering in the hospital room, they could see. Came back into a blind body, but they could see. Anita Moorjani wrote a book, Dying to Be Me, and she had a near-death experience. Her body riddled with large tumors, cancerous tumors all over, and as soon as she was able to escape the body, she was free of all of that. And when she got that, when she understood that she is the spirit, the real her, was never touched by that cancer, she knew she could come back into the body and be healed of it. She brought that highest level of consciousness back into the body, and within 2 weeks after she returned, her body was completely healed, and the doctors were, of course, baffled by that. Let me just take one more test. She's like, okay, if you want to prove it, sure, but I'm healed, I know this. So lots of people want to know about what their loved ones are busy doing. Do they always hang around with us after they leave the body? Do they know my thoughts? Somebody said, if they've already come here to learn their own lessons, why do they need to look back? Why do they need to experience more of us here on earth? And I have a couple opinions about this. First of all, I think we're part of a soul group. I think that we, with other souls that are kind of in the same stage of evolution, gang up and work together in the physical experience, help each other on their paths. And it's, to me, it makes perfect sense that if one of our gang leaves before we do, they, were there to help us. They want to see how we're doing. They want to come back and see if we're still on our path and how they might assist us on our path. I have heard it said that as long as it doesn't interfere with our own personal path or mission or purpose in life, they will help if you will ask. So just consider that. And I also think that they're here, they're aware of the current events in our life. They bring their love and support, but they don't need to be here all the time. And they have a really cool life on the other side to be busy at, to create new things and experience life in a new way. Just like we do. We create our life experience through our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. We continue to do that on the other side. The things that they create on the other side are things our little brains probably can't even conceive of, but you'll remember when you get over there what it's all about. And people want to know, will we be with our loved ones when we leave the body? Somebody said, if they've reincarnated, how can I be with them in spirit? Somebody wanted to know, can I choose to support them if they reincarnated while I'm in spirit? Lots of questions. So first of all, you in spirit, them now coming back to another body, which is something you can believe or not believe. I have no attachment there. But if they're not in the body or not in spirit, it's up to you if you want to have an experience with them, if you want to come back and check in on them. And if you're both there in spirit, it's still up to you how much time you spend with them, if there is such a thing as time. But you may choose, if that person that you're thinking of was not necessarily part of your soul group, they're probably off busy hanging with their peeps and you're busy hanging with your peeps. So it really is a choice, and I really think it's as simple as holding them in consciousness and they're there with you. It's not like you have to go find them. You just think about them and they're present there for you. Now think about what if they reincarnate before I move into the spiritual dimension, and then I do, and how am I going to find them if they're already back on earth? Good question, right? Well, okay, so take a deep breath and just see if you can get your brain to sit out on this one. I think it has to do with the fact that because we as spiritual beings are an extension of the divine, and the divine is everywhere present, we too can be everywhere present. That we can be in this human experience and still be very present in the spiritual dimension. So I heard an analogy recently that made great sense to me. If you play video games, I don't, but I kind of understood where he was going with this. So imagine that you're in heaven and your spirit is the video player. We'll call him Kevin. Kevin, do you play video games? Okay. All right. Well, imagine that Kevin is now on the other side, and Kevin is decided to play a video game. He's a spirit, and think of, if you go in and you create an avatar. Anybody know what an avatar is? It's kind of like you just create this digital character, give it a personality and a style and a mission and things like that. Well, imagine that's your spirit giving that to your human self. So the human self would be the avatar in the video game. You're the spirit. You're playing the video game, okay? So here's the deal. Here's where you breathe. You might even choose to create a second avatar that you're also controlling and setting the parameters for and operating, so to speak. Now you've got two of yourself in the physical bodies, two bodies on earth at the same time. Wow, right? Yeah. And then add on to that, okay, now they've technically reincarnated, so to speak, or your spirit is reincarnated. Okay, now Kim-Char passes over to the other side and wants to say hey to Kevin because she knew he was on the other side. So she goes looking for Kevin and she finds him. And he says, yeah, I'm playing this video game, but I can still talk to you. It's that kind of thing. Does that make sense? So you can run into spirits on the other side who are playing down here in the physical, but they're still available in the spiritual. I just think that analogy is so perfect. So yeah, it's a possibility, just saying. All right, somebody asked if only good people reincarnate. So good as opposed to bad, that's relative, that's human related, that's physical dimension related. Our true self, souls, we're always in the essence of God. We're always the essence of love. So the bad behavior, the bad personality does not die and go into a spiritual dimension. We're just bringing our perfect whole self in this place. And knowing that it's not the soul, not the human that reincarnates, it's the soul that reincarnates, then we know that it's somebody of love that's coming back, and it's a personal choice. You don't have to reincarnate if you don't want to. So remember the big picture that we've talked about here before, about why we would choose to come into this physical dimension at all, why even create a physical dimension, which I think we may have helped create, by the way. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but that's a long story, and we'll have to talk about that another time. So, yeah. Just choosing to come back here and get into a body and have that veil come down where we forget we are one with all that is. And we feel very separate in this body from all of you. I can't read your minds. Suddenly I feel very alone. And I chose to have that alone, separate, unique experience in order to remind myself of what I am not in spirit. So let me come to a dimension that's got a whole bunch of trouble, whole bunch of challenge, to give me opportunities to not only experience what I'm not in the spiritual dimension, but better understand what I am. So for instance, let's say that you come here, you forget who you are as a spiritual being, and you become offended by what somebody said or did to you. You would never do that in the spiritual dimension, but at that point, you can do one of two things. You can either respond badly and create harm, or you can bring out your higher divine potential in that moment and forgive. Not only can you learn what it's like to take offense, to be hurt, but we're not supposed to just stay in that. That's not the only reason we came here. We also came to allow our spirit to show us how to rise up above that. So if we have a situation where we've taken on a body, or we've created a personality that is a little bit off or different or judged easily, then we have, again, two options. Respond badly. We might shut down. We might bring a gun to school. Or we might learn for ourselves our own self-worth, which is what our higher self is constantly trying to tell us about, constantly trying to reinforce that we are loved and we are love. There's a possibility that you come in here and you feel alone, you feel separated, nobody's on your side. You just don't know how to work your way into society. So again, you're learning what it means to feel separated, but at the same time, you have the opportunity to awaken and realize that you are also part of all that is and all the beings that are here. And you find a way to insinuate yourself into relationships, and that you have the ability to do that, and that you are worthy enough to have that experience. We come in here developing an angry personality for the opportunity not to beat somebody up, but to learn patience and allowing and love. So that bad person reincarnating, question mark? No, always love reincarnating. But with the opportunity that if the human goes bad, what can we do to raise ourselves up in consciousness and be our spirit? Suzanne Giesemann said that until you understand that all arises from and as love, your challenges will appear to be tests. When you understand that nothing can be separated from anything else, you'll understand each opportunity as a test of your understanding and rejoice, oh my, I may use this to practice being who I really am. Think you could remember that? Set your test anxiety aside and simply do and be what comes more naturally than breathing love. Not easy when we're in those emotional states, right? But remember who you are. That person, that spiritual being that was in the body with the personality that you might classify as bad, has the opportunity to, when they leave the body, to take a look at that situation and review it and consider how they might have done it differently, and to more deeply understand what happened. Like we told the story last week, they may choose to come back and be the person that in this life I injured, or in the last life I injured, in this life I will now be the injured party, to really understand what this whole thing is all about. And this is where a couple good questions came up when I kind of went gulp. One of the questions was, so that particular soul didn't blame it on the brain. He was even asked that question as spirit. He said, really, I should have been more skillful at managing that personality or that brain. So the question was, are you discounting mental illness as a cause for violence here? And I am not, absolutely not, because I think mental illness is very much so a contributor to violence here in the physical. And in this particular example, he realized, even though a flawed brain may have perpetrated this, I still, as a spiritual being, could have been better skilled at managing that flawed brain. And so that's the soul that chose to reincarnate as an abused woman in order to experience it from the other side and understand the damage that he did. So here's the follow-up question. Doesn't that lead to victimizing the victim by saying her abuse happened because she wanted it? So we should let violence happen because we're all learning lessons? Oh my, there's a question for you. So let me see if I can say this in a way that you'll understand it. I am not saying that the human being of us wants to be abused, and I'm not saying that our soul, causes the abuse. I think our souls have an opportunity to get an advanced look at the life we're going to enter into. And that it's possible that we can see that remember, there's no time in spirit, and that we could see in the spiritual dimension what this type of life will unfold for this person. And they just found a person whose life looked like she had the propensity for violence to happen. Do you understand that? And that's the life he chose to enter into. He didn't make it happen, but instead he could see into the future and know, here's a person who will wind up in an environment where there's potential for abuse. I'm going to be a part of that life. So I don't think that our spirit ever comes in to create harm. I just think that they use this physical dimension to experience it to help them evolve as well. Now, here's the deal. There's still free will. And we can still decide not to be abused. And that's really where I want to focus, that our main reason for coming in to this physical life is not to just experience the challenges of them and come back and look at it and go, well, that was hard. But as Jesus said, in this world there will be tribulation, but have courage, for I have overcome the world. And I keep reminding you that that I is the Christ in you, the Spirit, the unique individualized expression of God in you, also capable of overcoming this. And so we might find ourselves in an abusive situation. Will we choose, with the help of our Spirit, to overcome these situations by rising up in consciousness to see what we are capable of? So be careful, because the ego is going to want to drag you into this victim identity. And it's going to require some meditation on your part to really understand that. The gist is that most of us come into this life and find some kind of challenge, whether it's abuse or something else. We all get that experience to suffer, or why would we come? There might be a few that came for a vacation life. But I think that it's the challenges, it's the contrast, it's the suffering that is what helps our spirit know better who we really are, what love is really about, what abundance is really about. I know that this is probably, these questions in particular are, have got you like, what? So again, I'm just going to invite you into your own meditation time on these ideas, with the energy of love in your heart, and see what Spirit reveals to you. Maybe different than what I've come up with. Remember, I started with saying, I don't know for sure. So I think that the thing that's most important, no, not most important, but important to know, is that whatever we go through here in this life not only helps our spirit to evolve and awaken to higher senses of being, but it's contributing to the one consciousness that we all share in. So when one of us is raised up in consciousness, all of us are raised up in consciousness. You may not know it mentally here in your physical body, that all these people who are awakening you, but your spirit is being awakened to higher and higher levels of understanding and expression. The thing that I think is more important here and now is to focus on life before death. So let's change that word, instead of after, to focus on what's my life like before I die. Because if what we're going to do, almost the first thing that we do when we leave the body, is review the life that we just had, why not do that like midterm in your life now to see how things are going? You're spiritually conscious. You wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be listening online if you weren't. So this is your chance to just take a break, look at where you're at right now, how life feels to you, how you feel about yourself. Recognize, I know that we all have flaws, we all have error consciousness from our humanity, but we're more than that, right? We are more than that. We are spiritual beings. And that might not hurt you to just once a day sit quietly for 2 minutes with the idea, I am a spiritual being having this human experience. Really meditate on that. What does it mean to me to be a spiritual being in this human experience? Where is my freedom in that? Where are my opportunities in that? I'm not limited, even though this life feels very heavy at times, and we could say in a minute, if I just turned to you right now, I'd say, what's not working in your life? You would know instantly what's not working in your life. But I don't want you to focus too much on because I don't have enough money, or because I'm dealing with a body that's not doing well. I'm more interested in what's not working in your life is I move into fear too easily. I move into anger too easily. I move into loneliness too easily. It's more about the inner you that we want to grow and upgrade while we're still here and we still have the chance. No matter what your age is, there is still time for your soul to influence your ego and to give yourself an opportunity to live a life that is from a higher perspective, to let your spirit really do the work. This is your life. Nobody else really has power over you unless you turn it over to them. So it might be that you've been turning your life over to other people to determine your worth or what you should choose to do, what they think of you. This is a good opportunity to say, you know what, no more of that. No one knows what's best for me but me. No one is walking this path of my life but me. What does my soul tell me to do in this conversation I'm about to have with somebody who's been directing me in a negative way? What does my soul tell me to be when I'm stepping into this new challenge in life? Or what does my soul tell me to be when I keep going back to this major failure in my life? What does my soul say? You are not a prisoner to your past. It may feel like it puts you in a box and it's holding you there, but you are free in any moment to choose differently, to be somebody higher than your ego has been letting you be. The rest of my life can become the best of my life. The rest of my life can become the best of my life. Will you say that with me? The rest of my life can become the best of my life. You've got the spiritual understanding. You've got the spiritual vision. You've got the spiritual healing energy. You've got the spiritual creativity. You've got the spiritual generosity in you. You have everything you need in order to raise up what you're living through right now. So here's some questions. Who do I really want to be? Not what career, but what person, what point of view do I really want to hold in my life right now? What is the highest vision I can hold for my reality right now? These are choices. What choice will lead me to reveal the deepest part of my beautiful soul? What choices have I been avoiding, or what choices did I not even know that I had that would reveal more of me as a spiritual being? Always, 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 it's your soul's wisdom that will get you there. One more thing from Suzanne Giesman on probably YouTube. Look up SIP, S-I-P as in Paul, SIP of the Divine. Sit in peace is what SIP stands for. And it's a 3-minute practice to ask your higher self, what do I need to know right now? Just sit in meditation and ask your higher self, what do I need to know right now? And it will guide you. Okay, last quote I want to share with you, and then we'll close. From Tom Pinkson. When you identify with ego, with separateness and scarcity, you see yourself as alone and vulnerable in an unfriendly world. Transcend your ego, and you awaken to discover that behind every perceived separation from spirit is a doorway to the divine, always in the heart, always from love. Switch your allegiance from your ego to your spirit, and pressure and struggling give way to peace and serenity. Your life before death is why you came here. Not to spend a lot of time wondering about life after death. It might be fun, it might be filling your curiosity, it might blow your mind, but we didn't come here to just focus on past lives and things like that. We came here to be present now, who we're here to be now, how we're here to live now. Review your life midstream instead of waiting until after the fact. Are you up for that? Okay, let's take some time in the quiet. I'm going to invite you into that big breath. Feel the solidness of the chair beneath you, how it's supporting you. And you can just let all the tension in your body go, and your chair will take over. Allow your hands to be open and relaxed, and your feet firmly on the floor. Feel Mother Earth beneath your feet. Knowing that this earth is pure energy. And that pure energy is love. We are grounded in the energy of divine love, supported by a universe that loves us. Designed to provide our every need, even before we ask. As you breathe in again and breathe out, think thank you. The body we dwell in is pure energy. And though this physical energy may not be perfect, may not be expressing in perfect health, there is still spiritual energy there that is your life, wholeness, health, comfort, vitality. Take a moment to look at that spiritual life presence in you. It is always giving of itself with love. And send it your thanks. Allow your thoughts to drift into your heart space. Feel it beating with an intention to love. Imagine there's a door in your heart that you open and allow that force of love to free itself not only throughout your body, but out into the world. Feel its love not only caring for you, but also loving the people beside you and all beings, all life on this planet. Be a presence of love now. My spirit speaks the language of love. And as I love, I may know truth. My mind opens to a deeper understanding of my life. And in this space of expansive, healing love, I ask my higher self What do I need to know right now? And just listen. Listen with love. What do I need to know right now? I am a spiritual being, having a temporary human experience. I choose to look at my life through the eyes of spirit, through the eyes of love. I am willing to be present to each moment, open and receptive to what is mine to do, to fulfill my purpose, to reveal my divine potential. All things are working together for my highest good, and I am grateful. So it is, and now I allow it to be. Amen. How you doing? No one passed out from shock? Once again, just my point of view and others' points of view that I've gathered over a while, and it's always up to you to take in what feels good to you, what serves you, what lifts you. Just thanks for playing with me. We're at a time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings. And I'll just encourage you to remember that when you give, you are expressing from that higher part of yourself. If it's coming with love and gratitude, if it feels uncomfortable, not a good time to give. Just set that aside for another day. But recognizing that when we can give from love and courage and a desire to grow, you are freeing God's infinite good to do good work. So let's bless it. Up here on the screen, first of all, we have, for those of you watching online, if you'd like to donate through our website, just go to unityinnaperville.org. Or if you want to mail a check, send it to our P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. And let's bless it now. The words are here on the screen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. Ushers, will you come?
What was it that Suzanne Giesman wrote? That we're here practicing being who we are? I love that. I suppose the first step of practicing is just remembering who we are. Let's start with that. That's why I love this song, Kevin, this lyric that you wrote. This next song we're doing, because it's that idea. Let's go right there. Remember who we are, that we're never alone, never separate. For all of us, we can say, God is in me.
1, 2, 3, 4. is in me. When I sleep, God is in me. I know that Spirit's in me. I can feel it every day. God is in me. Many times when I wake up in the morning, if I don't immediately start to meditate or pray, I get fearful. I don't even know what I'm afraid of, but I can feel it. And so I take a deep breath and I remember God is in me. God is in you. God's in all of us. Spirit has always been in me. And I remember God is in me all the time when you're dating. God is in me. God is in me. God is in me. God is in me. God is in me.
Wow. That was so, anybody else's eyes water up? Mine did. Okay. Well, my name is Cindy Spees. I am happy to share announcements with you today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you're here. I was so excited. I was a greeter this morning, too. A lot of new faces. So I'm so happy that you're here. And again, feel free to take any literature that you see on the welcome table there. And there's a form you can fill out. Lets us be in contact with you about things that are happening. But you can also go to our website, which is www.unityinnaperville.org, and you can sign up for the weekly e-news, and Reverend Kitty does a New Thoughts newsletter once a month. It's wonderful. So you'll see the event calendar there too. So if you have any questions about anything, you can email admin@unityinnaperville.org. Okay. If you are considering making Unity your spiritual home, or would like more information about what Unity is, today's your lucky day. There is a membership class, and there's a lot of goodies out there, lots of food, and that starts at noon today and goes till about 3 o'clock. It's a wonderful opportunity to meet new faces and ask the questions that you have in your heart. Okay. Backroom banter for our online community. Hello, everybody online is canceled today because of membership class. In honor of Earth Day, we are collecting styrofoam today and the next 2 Sundays. If it's been in contact with food, please wash it. No foam, insulation, or packing peanuts are accepted. DART in Aurora is one of the very few recycling centers that accept styrofoam. We live up in Lake County, and there's nothing there, so we bring ours down here. But also, if you can help transport the styrofoam to DART Center in North Aurora on May 7th, email admin@unityinnaperville.org. Okay. Tomorrow, Monday morning, Metaphysics meets online at 10:30 with Mary Beth Spear. The group is reading Your Invisible Power by Genevieve Barron. Each week is standalone, so you can drop in at any time. If you were born in May, let us help celebrate your birthday. Please forward a photo along with your name and birthday by Thursday, May 4th, and we'll sing to you on the first Sunday in May. You can email your photo and information to admin@unityinnaperville.org. Our grief support group meets online Monday, May 1st at 7 p.m. Join us for Heart Math Saturday, May 6th and 13th from 9 a.m. to noon. Christina Cannon, you're here today, right? She'll be teaching that. She's a certified trainer. You will learn techniques. Yeah. You will learn techniques to help you turn from depleting to renewing emotions, achieve ease in everyday situations, and tap into your heart intelligence, improve your decision making, improve communications with others. Sessions will be led by Christina. Love offering is $15 per class, and you can register in the front room on the tables along the wall there. Or see the event calendar. You can register online. Prayer chaplains are available to pray with you by phone or in the prayer room after the service. Please email your name and phone number to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and a prayer chaplain will contact you by 1 p.m. Again, for details on all our events, go to unityinnaperville.org, and for questions, email admin@unityinnaperville.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. And I have a couple more announcements up here on the screen. First of all, I'm just going to remind you, because we're going to kind of wind this down midweek this week. We're taking a survey asking you to tell us a little bit about who you are and also what you're interested in here at Unity, so we can do a report card on ourselves as the Board of Trustees. We're going to share the results of the survey next Sunday at our annual meeting. So first of all, to take the survey, here's your instructions. Go to unitycommunityconnect.com. There's a bunch of channels. Click the one that says Easter/survey. Steal a bunch of good Easter affirmations, by the way. And then just click the link that will take you to the survey. It's a bunch of clicks, so you don't have to write out a bunch of stuff. And we would love to hear from you, whether you've been here for one Sunday or 16 years. Love to hear from you on that. And then the next slide, please, is our annual meeting. It's where our Board of Trustees comes and shares a little bit about what's been happening this past year, our accomplishments, and also what our future might look like. We'll be voting on 3 new trustees for the board. We'll also be voting for the first time in 16 years since we first developed our bylaws. We're changing them a little bit, mostly to incorporate our online congregation in the ability to do things with us, like vote. You know, we never had it in our languaging, yeah. But another thing we've discovered is that we have probably 160 names, 170 names that have taken a membership class. And I'm guessing that several of them are no longer in the area. So we're trying to clean up that membership, because what we want to do is make sure that our membership is of active people who are still participating somehow in Unity. So that's part of the bylaws change will be about renewing your membership every 3 years if you want to maintain that, okay? So we would hate for you to show up after 5 years and discover you're no longer a member. So this is your chance not only to vote on that change in the bylaws, but also just renew or make sure that your address and contact information is up to date for us. So find your connection to unitycommunityconnect.com to take the survey. Please come to the meeting next week, because it's for all of you. It doesn't matter whether you're a member or not. And there's going to be some good information that we're going to share with you. Most importantly, it's food. Just kidding. Your chance to participate in a potluck, so bring a hearty dish to share, and we'll provide the drinks and desserts, okay? Next Sunday after the service. I think that's it. We have another song?
Sure.
All right, let's stand as you're able. We'll sing one more song.
In fact, we'll keep it a little short, because I forgot you have a class today, right? So, we're just going to sing that chorus. May you be well. For our guys. And I invite you to extend that blessing to those around you right now.
just head on into the classroom because we're going to get started fairly quickly. There'll be lots of food in there, so hopefully that'll be a good incentive for you to stay. And let's say our closing affirmation.
I've done the membership class before, but
I
just
knew
wanna
that.
eat.
I knew that was coming. I will say no to anyone. No, wait. I won't say no to anyone. Together, the rest of my life can become the best of my life. It's a choice. Every one of you beautiful, sparkling souls. Hey, take a minute to just find somebody you haven't met yet and introduce yourself. Ask them where they live. Ask them why they came today. That's your assignment. Thanks, everybody.
I will not consider myself any less than who I am. A cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully made. See here now, I got me the best suit on. Cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully made. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I receive this revelation. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I receive this revelation. Light up the sky, launch the fireworks. A cut from the finest cloth, I am one of made. I kick up my heels, 'cause I know my worth. Cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully made. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received this revelation. From a perfect God, perfect creation. From the Holy One, I've received this revelation. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. Spirit, yeah. I will not consider myself any less than who I am. One more time. Oh, I will not consider myself any less than who I am. Cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully made. Cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully made. Cut from the finest cloth, I am wonderfully
Yeah. Thank you. You guys made it sound so good. Thank you very much.